Hello everyone, I'm Landon Schlungen, and today we're going to be looking at the responsive web design part of FreeCodeCamp, uh, specifically the survey form. And this is going to be my second time doing this, and we'll see what it's supposed to look like. We can just click this link, and it's supposed to look something like this. FreeCodeCamp came out with this new thing where we can preview what we write in here. So let's say I have a div or just a div with a hello there and see if this will show up in the preview. It shows up here, but we can do a full page preview, I think, clicking here. So there's the full page preview. And so we want it to look something like this. We have our index.html file and we have our styles.css file. Yes, so this is the styles CSS file and then this is index. And I guess you can toggle between them um, or have them both there at one time or just one and then resize each column. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so we want this survey form to look like this. So I'm thinking what we need is, well, first of all, we need a header. So that'll probably be H1, uh, uh, H3 for that one, or just a paragraph. And then we need a label, input, label, input, label, input, all the way down. This will be labels for each of these radio buttons. We'll have a select feature here, and then a bunch of checkboxes here, and also a text area. So all these different items here, and then we want it to look something like this. We don't want to make it exactly like this, just because we want to have some freedom in our design. So, okay, and then we just have to make sure that it has all this stuff. So it should have a page title with an ID of title. Okay, so let's start with all these requirements, I guess. We'll do an H1, and this one will be the title, and it will have an ID of title. So pretty simple there. And then we can have our title. It'll say something like, actually, what do we want to make it about? A survey form about, well, I really like basketball, so let's do something about basketball. How about we ask the question, how can the MBA improve um, their entertainment value? Value. We can ask that question maybe. And it should show up here. Oh, no, this is the styles. Okay, I can see the preview here. I see. So there's the preview. Okay, so we're going to ask that question of sort explanation paragraph. Okay, so I'll make a p tag. Oh my gosh, type. And this will have an ID of description. Description. Yep. And then I'm just going to do thank you for taking the time uh, to help the MBA improve. There. Wonderful. You should have a form element with an ID of survey form. All right, let's do a form element, ID of form. D equals form. Nice and simple. And then inside the form, I'm sure we're going to have a bunch of stuff. You're required to enter your name in an input field. Okay, so we're going to have name. So we'll label. And then slash label. And then inside the label, we're going to do our inputs. Or one input at least. Input. This is going to be type of text and required. And then the label is going to have an, or inside of this, I'm going to do first name. Oh, first name. Or just name. Let's go name. All right. And then wonder if we should actually have this like stacked. If that's the case, I can just do this Alt up and then put a div around this. Oh, I wish there was Emmet. There's no Emmet in FreeCodeCamp editor, only for VS Code, which is a bummer. Also, probably not prettier either. Yeah, it won't format on save, which kind of sucks. Oh well. I think this is like the simplest way to do it. Just do it inside this editor for now. If you want to be more advanced, you can always use like VS Code or some other text editor. Okay, so what else do we have to do? Required to enter your name, ID of name, and type of text. Okay, ID equals name, type of text, and then we're gonna do ID equals name here, I think, or HT or 4 equals name, just so that when we click on the name, it will um, when we click on the name, it will automatically um, focus in this field. Although I'm not sure, I thought it was 4. Maybe it's names. So name equals name, and name equals name. That's kind of how it gets corrected. Preview. If I click on the name, okay, it doesn't do anything. What the heck? I thought there was a. I'm not sure. Whatever. I'll just do what's required. ID has to be unique, so it'd be ID label or ID name label. Okay. So here we have a div. We're gonna give this a class equals form elements or input element. Yeah, input. Okay. Let's go down here and let's copy this a couple times. We want, instead of name, email with a type of email. And then that's also required. It's not, you'll see the HTML, yep. You can enter a number. Okay, so we need a age maybe. Age so that we can do number. Beautiful. If you enter non-numbers, yep, you'll see that. We need a min and a max. Okay, so let's do a min property. Min equals, you have to be at least 8 years old, or 5, sure. And max equals, we'll go 100. And then let's see here, for the name, email, and number input fields, you can see corresponding label elements that describe the purpose of each field with following IDs. So ID, name, label. Okay, so let's copy that. Let's go up here inside this label, name label. This one will be email label, and then this one will be number label. Beautiful. For the name, email, and number input fields, you can see placeholder text that gives a description or instructions for each field. You can see placeholder text. Okay, so we need placeholder text. So inside of our input, we're gonna have input, or we're gonna have placeholders. So hold down Alt for multiple cursors, and we're gonna go placeholder equals name, and then for this one we'll go email, and for this one we'll go age. All right, beautiful. Okay, now we need a select statement or select element. You should have a select dropdown element with an ID of dropdown with 2 options. Okay, so down here We should also probably add a label to it. So we'll just copy this down, and the label will be select label. Yeah, we'll say who's your favorite team? Favorite team. And we'll go input. We'll do a select statement or a select element. Select element and end that one. And then inside of here, we're going to have options. So we'll go option and end the option. And then inside the option, we'll do Bucks. Okay, so there's Bucks. We'll go a couple more of these. We'll go Timberwolves. And then we'll go, actually, is Timberwolves one word? Yeah, okay. And then we'll go Lakers. Sure. So then when we click on here, we have our three options. And then we need an ID of dropdown. ID equals dropdown. All right. Inside the form element, you can select an option from a group of at least two radio buttons that are grouped using the name attribute. Inside the form element, yep, you can select an option from a group of at least two radio buttons. All right, so we'll go div and end this div quick. And then inside this div, we are going to have a bunch of radio buttons, or a couple, at least two radio buttons, grouped using the name attribute. All right, so we'll go input type equals radio. And then they're grouped by name, so we'll go name equals, I don't know, what do we even want to ask? We can have a label here. We can ask them, I feel like select elements and radio inputs are basically the same thing. Been to a game before, true or false? Maybe. Have you been to a game before? All right, name, game, sure. And then we'll go shut down. And then these ones need labels as well. And usually we put these after then. And I guess I'll actually have it like inside of the label. And then at the end, we'll say yes. And then we'll say no for this one. Label, label, and then no. Yes or no. Okay. And then we need several fields from a series of checkboxes, which must have a value attribute. All right. And the reason why this isn't formatting correctly is, well, because it's all inside one div, and then these ones are all inline elements. So I can actually just like surround this in div, and then it will take up a full line. Yes or no? Yeah, I could do that, sure. Div and div here. Quick. Okay. Let's see here. We need, yeah, I'm just going to copy this down, and then we're going to have these be checkboxes instead. So we're going to go checkbox, some clear squares, and we can select both of them. This one, we can only select one. All right, and then we're going to ask, what are we going to ask them? Which suggestions are good ideas for the MBA to implement? And then we'll say, like, play in game, play in game. We'll say cheaper tickets, Let's see here. What else can we do? And then instead of game, we'll do ideas. Play a game. All right. Cheaper tickets. We could do cheaper food. I'll go um, less ref calls, or like basically less fouls. Just like bribe the refs, be like, don't call as many fouls. Um, what else? Let's do one more. We could say um, super teams. Sure. All right. And I think I missed a div actually. Div. Okay. All right. So you can select an option from at least two radio buttons that are grouped using the name attribute. Yep. Okay. Inside the form element, you can select several fields from a series of checkboxes. Okay. Which must have a value attribute. Okay, so I need values for these. Great. All right, so let's just grab all these. And we'll go value equals play in, play in. And then this one will be tickets. This one will be food. This one will be calls. And this one will be super teams. All right, beautiful. All right, inside the form element, you are presented with a text area for additional comments. All right, so we'll go div. We need text area. Text area. Actually, it's self-closing, I think. Text area down here. Type equals text. Right? Is that not how you do text area? Maybe I don't think it's self-closing actually. Okay, there we go. Type of text, and then we want um, a label above it for additional comments. Additional comments. Beautiful. Um, Inside the form element, you are presented with a button with ID of submit to submit all the inputs. Okay, so then underneath all this, we need a button slash button. Inside the button, we'll say submit. Type equals submit. And an ID equals submit. All right, I think that's good. If I submit this, it'll, yeah, say I have to have a name. Okay, so it doesn't really look very good right now. So hopefully we can fix that by selecting all these stuff in the CSS file. Be sure to add link rel style sheet to in your HTML to link your style sheet. Oh, okay, so I need to add that. Can I just do a header up here? Do I need it in the header? Or do I just need to add that? Let's just try adding this quick and see if that works. Because I don't know how they have this set up. So let's go styles and let's type in H1 quick. And we'll say color of white just to see. Yep, okay, so it is connected that way. All right, so we kind of want a background on this like they did. I think a background would look cool. Blue. Oh, background color, I mean. Background color of light blue. Sure. It looks so bad. All right. Let's do text align center. Okay. Might make it look a little better. Um, let's go with our form. For form, we need a width or a max width on it of 500 pixels. And then we're going to go text align to the left. Line to the left. And then we're also going to have padding. So go padding of 20 pixels. Go margin. Well, actually, yeah. Yeah, we don't need margin, I guess. Let's have a border. 1 or 2 pixels solid black. And border radius of 10 pixels. Let's grab our class of, let's see here, what was it? Input element. All right, go dot input element. And we will just add some margin on that so that we get some space between these. At least those ones. The other ones I didn't add to that, but I probably should. Let's see here. Like this div and this div and this div down here. Yeah, we'll go class equals input element so that those get some spacing as well. Apparently I did that wrong. Less ref calls. I have an extra div in here somewhere. Cheaper tickets, cheaper food. Or not a div I need here. I know. Holy cow, this is hard to read. Let's see here. With a div here. Why is that div there? Input element. Oh, which suggestions are good? To implement. This is this one. Holy cow, I need some formatting in here. What's up with this div? Oh, that's for that main thing. This is this part. It's checkbox. We have this one that doesn't have a div around it. For cheaper food. Div. Okay, there we go. Oh my gosh. Seriously. Formatting HTML is just a nightmare. Just a nightmare. And I don't know if maybe you can't see that, but it was just like looking weird down there. Let's make that smaller. Okay. Let's see here. Let's scroll up. Okay, there we go. Styles. All right, how do we make this look better? We need these inputs to be like so much better. Input, we'll give it a padding of 10 pixels and make it rounded. Actually, let's do padding of 5 pixels. We'll go border radius. Radius of 5 pixels as well. Yeah, I don't really like that actually. I don't know why that border looked so weird. Let's say border none. Yeah. And then we can do border radius. 5 pixels. And then we'll give it a, let's see here. I think that's fine actually. The input elements, I don't just want a margin. I want it to be display flex. Display of flex. and then we'll go flex direction of column. See what that looks like. Yeah, we want those on top. For our select thing, we need to basically do the same thing as we did for our input. So we'll copy that, paste down here. So that will look nicer. All right, we can style our checkboxes and stuff. So we can do input, I think type equals checkbox like this, and select that one. We can give it a, is that how you select it? I kind of forget sometimes. Give it a padding of 10 pixels. Or I don't even know if that works. Color, background color of red. Let's see here. Select checkbox CSS. Let's see here. Style checkbox with CSS. Input type equals checkbox. Okay. Or you can do like that. Oh, width and height. I see. You have to do width and height on it. Okay, let's try that. Width of 10 pixels. Okay, yeah, that worked. Let's go 30 pixels. Did that work? What the heck? Height of 30 pixels. Okay, yeah, it does. Okay. Let's do 15. Is that cool? That looks all right, I guess. Sure. Okay. Okay. But now they're not centered, which is kind of annoying. In that case, we need the labels or something like that. Okay. You know what? I don't really care that much. Let's just see if it passes the tests and just call it good because I do not care. All right. Is there a way to see if it passes the test or no? How do I do this? Instructions, yes. Okay. Go down here. Okay, yeah. So here's the tests. Let's try testing it. Control Enter. It misses a couple of these. You should have a form element with an ID. I have survey form. Did they tell me that? ID of survey form. Survey form. Okay. And then I can do Control Enter to test it, I guess. All right. You should have an input element with an ID of number. Uh, Input ID of number. I see. ID equals number. Control Enter. Should have an input. ID equals number. ID of number. What the fudge? Oh, ID of number, not age. I see. Okay. Control Enter. Okay, now that works. Okay, it's missing this one. All your radio buttons should have a value attribute. Okay. Okay. Holtz. Go value equals yes. And then this one should be no. Control Enter. Oh, there we go. Finally completed that one. Of course, it doesn't really look the greatest. It's a preview and a separate screen. That's what it would look like. Pretty small text. Actually, I should center that. I can just do margin auto on that. So let's do that quick. Let's go down here. My form, I need margin auto on it so that it will center. So if I preview, yep, there we go. Now it's centered. I think that looks a bit better. We do our name, email, age. Who's your favorite team? Have you been to a game before? Yes or no? And then which suggestions are good ideas, and then also additional comments, and then submit it, and then it will like refresh the page or whatever and the default uh, behavior is of that. All right, I think that's it. Let's just run them again. Control Enter to run them. submit and go to next challenge. Yeah. And then the next challenge, I guess, is this card. I don't know what this is. Okay. By now, you should be familiar with the basic elements of HTML page. And then we'll do this doc type stuff. Learn CSS box model by building a Rothko painting. Oh, okay. So we're making a painting, I guess. Okay. Well, anyways, that's it for me. I will see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.